So we're watching Sal's show. I'm Paul McGillicuddy, and this is Space Heater featuring Maiden X and Joe Lou. And how was the band formed?
I can talk a little bit about it.
Sure.
I actually had already met Joe Lou, and he was doing a solo project with the space helmet and pack and all that jazz. And
I see.
I had actually had that space helmet and pack already made for burlesque routines that I had been doing, a space theme, sort of David Bowie thing. And I had a band at the time. He was actually a band when I first met him, but he was still doing his solo stuff. And my band broke up, his band broke up, and I think I messaged you one day and went, how would you like to start, you have a space helmet, I have a space helmet, would you want to do a sci-fi act? And he was like, sure, let's try it.
Great, and the right chemistry, and it works here. What I saw, I loved, and Sal liked it. Hey, you never know what could happen. So it was burlesque. You mean burlesque in a sense of there's many types of that. I was just curious.
I call my version neo burlesque because it's more of like I'm into the whole costume thing, as you can probably tell, and it is the dance, striptease, that sort of thing. But I always try to make my acts a bit more different.
Different burlesque. Some take off less, some take off more. But we've had burlesque shows here before.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun, and you're already in that quirky type thing. And, and your band was a little different. I'd like to know, Joe, a little about your band was different than hers.
Yeah, so I'd been through a couple different bands before we had started, but what really inspired part of us getting together is my solo material is one I'll still wear this helmet. So Joe Lou is still a solo act, but I don't really do it too much lately because I'm just all in here on Space Heater. But when it was just that, it was still drum machines. There was still a lot of electronic beats, but they were they're a lot harder to dance to. It was more like kind of like you sit back on the couch and you zone out to them. So this was a really great opportunity working with Maiden X to kind of make something that's more for playing live and getting people out of their chair and dancing and stuff. So
yeah, that's good to know. Thank you. And your characters, Maiden X, that's based on a sci-fi movie, or you make it up yourself?
It's actually something someone started calling me a long time ago. Before I was even doing burlesque, and it's sort of stuck as like a nickname. I was always kind of into the campy sci-fi things. I used to go by Maiden of Madness doing solo music. So Maiden X kind of brought that variable to it. I started using it. It's actually my burlesque name now still. It could be
it rings
anything.
out,
Maiden, what's the X stand for? I don't know. It could be anything.
Anything at all,
Now I'm
a mystery.
X.
It's just a mystery. I love the costume. The silver and the shoes, it all works together.
I always
the
try
helmet.
to change it.
I like your creativity too. The
Joe's
helmet.
Usually always wearing the vest and the helmet. It's really fun.
Mine's a little easier to put on just because I have all that extra gear to set up. So.
And your inspirations, obviously, it's sci-fi movies and stuff like that, and David Bowie music, as you said, and other kinds of music or movies that stood out for you.
Oh man, well it's tricky to say any two specific movies because what we're trying to do is capture that sort of camp feel that really is present in all like classic sci-fi. A big inspiration I think would be MST3K. Those guys that make fun of all the sci-fi movies.
Yes.
Just trying to figure out.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have a great job of picking out what sort of qualities carry over from one movie to the next, so that way we can kind of keep people in that sort of free floaty space. And then particular songs though will sometimes reference an exact movie, but we're not really bound to just that. It could be anything on it. So
2001, the 50th anniversary. Yeah, I love that movie. And so many. And the early David Bowie had to do with the space and
Yeah, definitely. Personally, I've really enjoyed that whole Ziggy Stardust. As you can tell, whenever I get ready, actually, I'm always listening to Ziggy and
the glitter and space and mystery and you picked some good inspirations there. Yeah, because I've always I've been a record collector and I listen to a lot of that stuff going back many years. So And other artists besides David Bowie, you like a lot. You probably like a lot of them.
Yeah, well, if I were to put it down to one thing, it would be this group YMO, the Yellow Magic Orchestra. It's a
YMO. I'll look them up.
They're like
when people ask us, at least as far as me, for like more modern references, we had this little tag I wrote. I don't know if I'm going to say it right now, but it's I always say, you know, Space Heater. I think Kimbra and Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails, went on a dark disco moon date, and the after party is playing Mario Kart at Bjork's house. Some people are going, whoa, what does that mean? And I'm going, well, look it up. Maybe you know Bjork, Kimbra, Nine Inch Nails. It's kind of a huge mix of dancey, crazy, dark.
Cool. I like that. I think I see it in one of the David Bowie movies. They're at a dance club and these weird dances, mysterious. Yeah. Let's roll that video. Wow, that tune really captured me. Wow, I was really blown away by that. That's a great song. Wow, really, like the electronics there, and yeah, did a great job. Yeah, vocal. It's just beautiful.
Thank you very much, Joe. Obviously.
Yeah, we've been going at it really hard the past year, just trying to find a nice balance between, you know, the pile of electronics that I've got in her voice, and you know, Maiden X has gotten so good with controlling effects on her voice in real time that it adds the sort of spacey vibe that allows us to sort of sound more in sync. Yeah. So without all the tricks that she's got, it would sound a little more like two different projects, but I'm really happy with how we've been able to balance that.
I'm very happy to hear it. We're going to move on to the next song. That was different from the first, of course, and it was the same space. So let's tell us what it is, and then we'll roll it.
Sure. Second song, the first full-length song, was sort of inspired from the mythology of Peter Pan, and also an 80s movie called The Lost Boys about vampires. It's sort of that theme of wanting to live forever.
Yes.
But there's a lot of trouble interwoven within that in
space vampires.
Space vampires, yeah, I guess you could say that.
Whoa!
So this one's a bit darker, and we can
I like that.
Hope you enjoy.
Okay, we're gonna roll that. Let's roll that video so the space vampires can suck your blood. Yeah, you really move around on stage there, and a lot of energy by both of you. And I just love your voice. I said it before, but it's not flattery. It's very good. Yeah, wow.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that one's sort of stripping away the space armor and throwing the energy over to Joe Lou working around on his drum machine.
So you're on your journey, and you're more free now, Madam Maiden X. Yeah, yeah. I get those two mixed up, but you picked a good name for that. Yeah. We're going to continue the journey to the next one.
Yeah. So this next song is kind of our pop hit. It's a lot more down to earth, kind of more of a romantic love song, and it's very like on the nose. We wanted to make something that was a little more like you might hear on the radio, but obviously we're just weird enough where it's probably a little too quirky for some stations. But it's called "Take Me or Leave Me," and it's got really fun, kind of more straightforward lyrics to just kind of bop around, and this one at the clubs helps people kind of loosen up.
I was listening a lot to the gossip at the time.
Yeah, you really moved around. Yeah.
Let's enjoy the video.
Wow, you really had me moving on that. It was like a new wave dance club or something. I was in. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I just love your style of music. Yeah. And that one, it was a little bit different style, that popish I heard.
Yeah, it was one of the first ones we actually wrote. We kind of put it aside for a while, and then Joe Lou kind of went, why don't we bring it back? It was very fun, and it's probably one of the only very, uplifting feeling songs of ours, right?
Yeah.
I like that. Wow. Well, after that, we're going to move on to the next one. I'm getting more and more excited on this journey. Okay, what do you have next?
The next one is called Laniakea. It's probably one of them. It's an older song too. I think one of the first ones we tried together. And it means immeasurable heavens in Hawaiian. It's actually a supercluster. Our supercluster, our actual galaxy, is named after that because of a scientist or astronomer scientist in Hawaii discovered it. And
I see.
That particular part.
Yeah, and The name sounds pretty uplifting. The song itself is probably our saddest song.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's also our first introduction to a saxophone. In the studio, I'll play a little bit of saxophone, and so I actually play sax on this song. Of course, not live; it's sampled because I already have enough gear that I'm sort of juggling. So, but yeah, we try to bust out the sax. We want to be really over the top and dramatic. And
I call it Sad Kid Sax.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy the video.
You really put it out there. Space travel, loneliness, and
well, exactly. It's supposed to be like it's immeasurable heavens, but you feel this small. You know, it's unrequited love.
Yeah.
So it's not not the happiest one.
No. Yeah, you mentioned Hawaii, and that's an inspiration there.
Yeah.
Especially with all the sad things going on there with the volcano. Yeah. Oh, I like that song a lot, and it's, like you're saying, you're really popular at the clubs with this music. It grabs a real crowd. Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to write specifically for live performances. So the kind of intro skits and outro that you see later is just sort of one of a couple of different stories where we'll try to cater each show to be different because we're always playing, different shows, and we wanted to give people who are coming back a different experience. So we try to twist up the story a little bit and make sure every song that we do can be done live. So that's why it's such a strong emphasis on that.
Okay. That said, let's move on to your next one. What is the next one there?
The last one is called Fire Belly. It's actually my favorite to perform.
Wow.
It's probably the loudest one that we'll do. We try to go out, as loud as we can with this, but I think it gives you a lot of opportunity to kind of flex the bluesy.
Yeah. I have a sort of bluesy rock background in my voice, and I like to do that. So
I see. Yeah. That's a very good sound, and we're gonna move on, and may we watch that video. Made Next. Wow, that was so dramatic and poetic. The way you moved around and belted it out.
Thank you.
I like that. You're welcome. I loved it.
Because you saw Joe.
Joe was doing
a little camera up, and I kind of.
Yeah, Joe was doing his. It's like acrobatic keyboard electronic work. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have a lot of inspiration in that song, obviously.
Yeah, we used to improvise that one quite a bit live, or I don't know, we still do.
Yeah. It's a pretty loose structure, really. A lot of our other stuff is a lot more choreographed to communicate a story, but this one's kind of just a raw feeling, and it's a good closer in that way. It's real simple, like in your face synthesizer.
That's good that you each song in your story there is a differentiate, because they all have to be a little different and say a different poetic message. And
that one's a little bit more. It's still sad, but happy sad.
Happy, yeah. I like both of them. Yeah, it's entertaining altogether. Space Heater on MATV, Sal's show, and people that are watching right now, and myself, I'd like to see you in person and or on a website. Let's tell us how we can reach you that way.
Our next big show is actually Foo Fest. It's something that Providence does. It's an AS220 fundraiser. It's kind of a really amazing.
What's it called again? The
Foo Fest.
Foo Fest. I think I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I think I saw it on Facebook one time. Yeah.
AS220 is an amazing community event space. It's got like bar, food, music, gallery, a whole slew of other things. And we're really happy to be a part of that on August 18th. So it's our first time doing that. And as far as social media, you can find us on Facebook, Space Heater. Our website, it's
spaceheatermusic.com is our website.
Okay.
Made Next keeps up the Instagram.
Oh, I have an Instagram. It's Space Heater PVD.
Okay.
We have an album that we just came out with.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
So I will look up all this. I'd like to see you in person sometime. I'll make a note on that. And you're online. You have your website. And to the audience, this is their television debut for Space Heater. Isn't that great? And yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
been very cool.
Been great having you. Anything else on your mind? Like you have further space adventures, sci-fi.
Yeah, we just released our debut album, We Want to Believe.
Okay.
And we're interested in working on more stuff.
Yeah.
I think.
I see.
The main thing too is the live shows. We try to vary them up as much as we can. You know, it's a lot of the same songs from show to show, but as you've seen, how there's a little bit of a story to it. We're trying to change up the story as much as we can.
There's audience interaction, so
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to
Oh,
do
that
today.
sounds like fun. Where in future shows you could do one show and then have a different little story.
Yeah,
But that's nice.
we've done a lot of like really quirky stuff. Like one time, the batter in our ship drained, so we had to have humans on the front row come over, and we had to pretend to run electricity through
It's
them.
a human alternator.
Yeah,
Oh, I love it.
So
I
they're
love it.
generating electricity for our ship. Another time, our ship froze, and we had to hand out heat lasers to everyone in the
Laser
audience
beams.
so they could help melt the ice.
Oh, that's cool. I love
We
it.
had kazoos involved in the last show.
Yeah.
It's
And also,
crazy.
I think you mentioned it earlier that all right, you're here in the TV show. You have your electronic devices, computer, and all that. And in clubs, you have additional instruments that you play.
well, Joe Lou plays saxophone, which is usually pre-recorded. We might bring that out to our next live stage show.
Once we
We'll
reach
see.
phase 2 of
Yeah,
Space
I play
Heater.
guitar, but I haven't done it yet in the Space Heater realm.
So maybe in future shows you'll have that on stage. Yeah. You know,
Mostly programming that Joe does.
programming, and then so mix and match, and so it's also exciting. I like it. I like his style, and it's something more bands should pick up on. I mean, I like hard rock and heavy metal, but sometimes the electric guitars just get to me after a while. But, but everybody has their own style. Yeah, it's been a pleasure, and the audience has been enjoying it. I love it.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, this is wonderful. Thanks for having us.
And thanks for coming, and